Halo Wars 2 is a real-time strategy game in the streets and a console-focused action game in the sheets. That is to say, Creative Assembly, creators of such strategy titles as the Total War games, is trying for the second time to translate the primarily PC-centric genre to a controller-focused experience while also following in the footsteps of Ensemble Studios' previous entry. Now, that doesn't mean that the game is watered down compared to its contemporaries, just that there's a focus on accessible controls and interface, but more on that later. The campaign in Halo Wars 2 doesn't exactly break new ground for the genre, but it does offer a few hours of varied missions that do a good job of spotlighting all the different units and rewards players with incredibly well-produced cinematics. The story exists. It's a fairly average tale of a team behind enemy lines fighting against all odds to save the galaxy from some existential threat. It doesn't add much to the greater Halo mythos, but it shouldn't upset anyone either. With the exception of a nearly sympathetic antagonist, the characters are broad caricatures, but at least they're well rendered. Multiplayer is where the game really shines, with a handful of different modes such as the solo or team annihilation matches, a 3-on-3 rumble where players have unlimited resources and everything unlocked, or the 4 to 6 player control point games. These are pretty standard and offer a good mix of match length and gameplay variety to players of all skill levels. What really stands out, however, is the new Blitz mode, a mix between control points and collectible card games. Gone are the base building and separate resources. In its place are an ever-present hand of 4 random cards which instantly spawn a unit or ability at the cost of energy. Different units have different energy costs, and your energy is always regenerating, but can be sped up by collecting random energy drops on the map. Players must juggle between controlling points and going after resources, while also keeping their army growing and prepared to address whatever the enemy throws at them. It's a hectic mode with small maps that are easily traversed, constantly shifting army compositions, and a relatively short match time courtesy of the control points. No CCG would be complete without card packs, and Halo Wars has plenty. These packs can be obtained by completing campaign missions or daily and weekly challenges. For less enterprising players, there's always the option of paying real money for them, but where's the fun in that? Cards come assigned with different traits and rarnesses, and duplicates automatically feed into each other, leveling them up and becoming more potent. While the system may play to some of our baser desires, it creates a nice loop of customizing decks, seeing the fruits of your labor in battle, and unlocking new toys to play with or upgrading previous ones. Inventive modes are nice, but they don't mean much if the gameplay can't back them up. No one would fault you for thinking that a console-focused RTS would feel too simple or restrictive on the genre's native platform, but it actually ends up working in its favor. The result is streamlined controls for things like cycling through units and structures on the map, or micromanaging individual units within a larger group. The developers have made a robust set of hotkeys that actually make some of the micromanagement faster without getting rid of it entirely. Structurally, Halo Wars is closer to games like StarCraft than Company of Heroes or Dawn of War, with an emphasis on creating a strong economy through lots of base building and expansions. There is still unit veterancy, but having an economic machine that can churn out units and making the correct composition is more important than keeping your units around for the whole match. Halo Wars 2 may not exist in the top echelon of PC real-time strategy games, but that doesn't mean there's nothing worth celebrating in the game. The campaign, while mostly average, tells a fine story and looks good while doing it. The control options breathe new life into an established genre and will, hopefully, show up in more games in the future. And the Blitz multiplayer mode is a great addition to the package and shows that there is a way of making RTS games more engaging and accessible without going the route of MOBAs. All in all, there's something here for Halo fans who want to spend more time in the universe and fans of real-time strategy games who want a solid experience with a few nice innovations in a sparsely populated genre.